I saw this article the other day on Reddit, and I could not agree more with the general position of Super Smash Bros. Creator Masahiro Sakurai, which I hope I'm saying his name correctly. Essentially, his position is Japanese video game developers need to focus more on making games for Japanese people and not chase Western culture or Americanize their games too much. There's certainly already a ton of Japanese creators, whether it's music or video games, that already do this. They make their product or their art for the people that are closest around to them or they relate to the most. I think a really good example of this is if you go to Austin, Texas, and you go to Terry Black's Barbecue, the food that you get in Austin, Texas, the barbecue there, that is a very, very special thing. And you don't experience that anywhere else in the world. It's a unique cuisine that is specific to that part of Texas. But if you go to Japan, the sushi there also stands alone and is a top tier dining experience. The reason all of these different cuisine types have been so successful and have the longevity that they've had is because the people who make that food have done it for generations, and it is unique and special and authentic and genuine to the people of that region, to that culture. And the pit masters in Austin that make barbecue for people that like barbecue. And then people from all over the world travel to Austin, Texas to try the food that they see on Instagram, on TikTok, and have those experiences. But sometimes when you're in a global market, it can be kind of easy to stray away from maybe where you started and you start chasing other things that get you away from your core audience that you developed initially, and you lose your identity that helped you establish what you were trying to do in the first place. If I ask you to name one AAA title that came out in the last year or two that kind of had that vibe of all the money in the world going into it, visually looks great, from a technical standpoint, fantastic, but then you play it and it just feels like it's soulless because it's almost like the game was designed by committee to check off all of these boxes and hit all of these demographics for all these people, and we're going to make everybody happy. And at the end of the day, it was just kind of average and forgettable. You think about the biggest single player games that we've had in the last few years, and you can't help but think about games like Baldur's Gate 3, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and those games did their own thing and people loved them. Same thing with Elden Ring and the Souls-like series. Those games aren't for everybody. Some people play those and they absolutely hate them, and they can't understand why anybody would put themselves through such torture of just getting their ass beat over and over and over again. But for the right customer, that is the peak of gaming. And that's what Masahiro is saying. Make the games that reflect your values, your experiences, what inspires you as an artist, rather than try to make something that you think will be successful commercially, but might kind of lack a soul. So the end of this whole little rant here is I would love to see more studios, more developers doubling down on what inspires them, what they believe to be the correct course and pathway to make the best form of art. And I think that results in the best end product.